Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be reacting to a rather large YouTuber who is giving their take on the Acolyte. Now, a few of you have requested this. A personal buddy of mine, Jeremy, has requested this. We're going to go right into it. There's two. I guess he did one on first episode or second episode, and then I guess did one on the latest episode, which was a few days ago. It has 2.5 milli views, 17 minutes long. I don't know how long we're going to watch it for, if we're going to do the whole thing or not. But let's just get into it. Let's have some fun. Shout out to Moist Critical. Go to theorysavers.com. Check it out. You will find something you like.
I love making fun of bad media. Puts a big smile on my face, grinning from ear to ear. But very rarely will you catch me double dipping into the communal salsa bowl and insulting the same thing in multiple videos. Usually if I'm making fun of a horrible movie or show or video game, I'll make one video. It's like a one-night stand. We share a night of fiery passion, and then we fist bump each other. I tip my fedora, say thanks for the good pussy, madam, and we both go our separate ways.
This is where the fun begins.
And that's the end of that. That's circumstances. I'll make Acolyte has absolutely shocked me with just how bad it continues to be.
Bro, is that a claw machine in the back? That's literally that's a freaking claw machine, dude. What did he like play it himself and like the system so he wins? I never won those. I was really bad at them.
And while I agreed the Acolyte was bad, I still didn't think it was worse than Book of Boba Fett, which is perhaps one of the most boring things ever produced.
Yeah, dude, this makes me want to watch the Book of Boba Fett. It's literally how bad this show is.
Hell no.
Wish there was a word in the dictionary for how bad the show was. There is no word, really. How horrible, horrendous, and unwatchable this it makes. You know what? You know what this show does? The Acolyte, like some things are just so bad, you're just like, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. This makes me so passionate about the show because of how bad it is. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm so passionate about Star Wars, like it makes me literally angry to watch the show and see how they are just desecrating my boy.
It'd be more stimulating to just listen to your fucking English professor farting into a walkie-talkie for a 2-hour Zoom meeting. It's so boring. And it has one of the worst scenes in television history with the Vespa chase scene that I reference all the time. That scene is so bad, it should almost be considered criminal.
That Vespa chase scene is actually 10 million times better than the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. You guys remember this shit? I don't think we'll ever forget. That's how unfortunate it is.
I'd rather watch a 45-minute argument between my parents debating whether or not they should get a divorce. That'd be a lot less painful than sitting through a single episode of Book of Boba Fett.
I think we've all been there.
Point is, I still thought that show was worse. Now that episode 4, The Acolyte, dropped, I now see this has the potential to definitely surpass it in being the worst Star Wars thing ever made. But also making me feel insulted for how stupid they must think the audience is that's watching it. Literally. And by the way, I wasn't even planning on watching this. Literally. I was more than content just...
That's a very good way of putting it. Like, literally insulting watching the show. And then seeing the people defend the show as if they're some sort of, I don't know, martyr or some sort of hero. We don't understand Star Wars. Like there's no words, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
And then apparently went on to imply that it's because the majority of Star Wars fans are males, and since The Acolyte has a female lead, they weren't receptive to it, and then just not liking it because of that. Which I always think is a very interesting strategy, to immediately blame the audience when something is failing. Because if that was the case, the Fallout series would have flopped. But the Fallout series is beloved.
You think if he and I fused together like in Dragon Ball, we would, like, who would, like, would we have, like, medium hair? Or would it just be, like, alopecia? But we'd both have a beard. I don't know, I'm just... wondering.
Now again, like I mentioned, there were absolutely some glue-eating, diaper-shitting, crack-smoking weirdos that really did take a very serious issue with it being a female lead in their Fallout show. But it clearly wasn't the majority. It was a very small, smelly pocket of goobers. And the show did very well. So I don't think you can just point the finger at that for the Acolyte flopping. I really don't. Yeah. But anyway, I plot my...
And they always do that shit, too. There's like, oh, you guys are it's the ists and phobes. Which I honestly feel like has been dying down since I've been calling it out more, and so many other people have been calling it out more. It's just like they've kind of moved on to, like, other insults. The ists and phobes aren't as prevalent anymore, which is great.
When does it get good? Are we about to enter into, like, the fucking golden age here of the Acolyte? So, turning on episode 4 was a big mistake. It's the most boring episode so far. And what's crazy is this had the easiest layup of all time to just be like a good episode.
I think that was the case too. The video that I made recently, regarding Acolyte writer responds to Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yeah, so that one actually has the scripts of the writers, like tweets of the writers, of the writer of episode 4, and she's like, anyways, go check that out if you haven't seen it already.
And she's going on about how difficult that is. Like, how do you kill a Jedi without any type of weaponry? It's an impossible task. And I think it's a really stupid task to give anyway. Why specify that? I'm sure we'll learn later, but I still think that's very dumb just on a surface level. That's like challenging me to take a poop without peeing. Like, yeah, it's super difficult. I might be able to do it with enough focus and, like, creative strategizing, but what do I get out of it? And what do you get out of it as the Sith Master? The poop still gets done with or without the pee, so who really cares, you know? Like, if the Jedi are dead, that you want dead, why does it matter how they were killed? I'm very curious to see why the fixation on not using a weapon is there.
It's probably like to test. You're like, okay, you're really strong in the Force. If you can, they have a lightsaber and you don't, you can kill them. Mind you, like Palpatine didn't give a shit about that. He's like, just kill them. I don't care how you do it, just kill them. The only time that the Sith didn't use a lightsaber, and this is, you know, in the comics and shit, is when Palpatine forbade Darth Maul to use his lightsaber because the Jedi didn't see a lightsaber for 1,000 years. And that would have, like, given, you know, the jig would have been up. So he made sure that he never used his saber. And I think in one of the comics, Maul pulled his saber out on, I think it was like a chick or something like that. And Sidious said, like, if you ever do that again, I will kill you. Like, you will literally, like, destroy all of my plans of the Sith. I will kill you if you ever pull that freaking thing out again. Which is hilarious, because then the Smilo Ren guy is, like, pulling it out in front of the Jedi. Like, what the
of seeing a Wookiee Jedi do anything. He's just already dead. What a fumble.
I think we get some flashbacks or something of him using a saber at one point, and that's about it.
That's the easiest dunk of...
But yeah, the writer of the show said that it didn't make the budget for Kelnaka to use his lightsaber. So they had to kill him.
You know what episode 4 has none of? Fights. You know what episode 4 has a lot of? Nothing. So they're not even utilizing the strongest part of the show.
Or episode 4 was just like, walk for 2 seconds, stop, talk about bullshit, walk for another 2 seconds, stop, talk about bullshit, and just do that for the whole show.
No fights here.
He's forgetting. They killed an alien Maw.
I have it.
Vial of poison, and then he floats down and he says thanks and kills himself, basically. Well, not basically. He literally just drinks the poison.
He literally
and
does,
dies.
dude.
That's it.
Game
So,
over.
like, she's going to turn herself into the Jedi. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. This comes out of nowhere, mind you. May has spent 16 years as a villain and assumedly been working with this Sith Lord for most of that time.
He's even saying it's a Sith Lord, too, and everyone's like, it's not a Sith! Bro's dressed in black clad with a black helmet with a red lightsaber. What the hell is that?
You gave us good info. It's okay. You killed these 2 Jedi Masters. All is forgiven. All's right in the world. Like, I don't know how you could be that dumb. Like, how can you be that stupid? There's no...
So the Sith basically just, like, trying to kill the Jedi now because he's like, well, because it's Khmer. It's the dude that she strung up. And he's like, well, I guess the jig is up, so I gotta kill everybody. That's basically probably his thought process.
No way. So May sets the entire fucking building ablaze and leads to the death of her
Brick building, mind you, bro. Brick frickin' building. Insane.
entire family and everyone else there. I'm going to turn myself into the Jedi because my loyalty is to my sister. That's one of the lines she says verbatim. Her loyalty is to her sister. You tried to fucking kill her. Tried to kill her, but you ended up having a hand in Phantom Menace. They were all shocked to learn that Sith were still around in any capacity. But since this was going on and there's clearly a Sith that they have now seen, they would have at least had that knowledge, you would think.
Yes.
But I'm not even here to really talk about it breaking Star Wars canon.
It's like bad on its own. And then when you actually connect it to it breaking canon, you're just like, this is what is this? Why was this even made? How was this even approved? It's shit on so many levels, on the lore breaking, and I'll argue anybody who thinks this is not lore breaking, and I will win that argument. There is absolutely no logical explanation that anybody can make. I mean, I've already heard all of the excuses that would explain this show does not break canon whatsoever. The dude has a red lightsaber. I don't care if it's a freaking fairy running around in the meadows. It's got a red frickin' lightsaber, let alone it's dressed in all black with a black helmet like Darth Vader or Kylo Ren, has a red lightsaber and is ordering its apprentice to kill Jedi. How is this any different than Sidious and Maul, or Sidious and Dooku, or Sidious and Anakin? There's no difference.
Like, every time they show Coruscant, I want to cry. Like, it just looks terrible. It actually looks like a PlayStation 1 cutscene.
It literally does, dude. It looks horrible. It looks like something from the 2000... Actually, the 2005 Revenge of the Sith game looked better with Coruscant. Watch whenever they show Coruscant, and they're going to go and, like, add shit now. There is not a single speeder in the sky. There's no ship. Coruscant is the most densely populated planet in all of Star Wars, pretty much. Trillions of people. What the freak, man? There isn't anybody. Like, oh, it's early in the day. No, dude, this is Coruscant. It's like downtown Coruscant. It doesn't get any busier than, like, are you kidding?
These VFX teams are getting used and abused, and they just have no time to...
Oh, yeah, dude, let me tell you about these VFX teams, man. They get chewed up and spat out. They're on for, like, maybe 2 weeks, some of them. Maybe a week, and then, boom, see you later. Literally.
Actually finish their work anymore, and my fucking heart breaks for them. I am pretty confident that they're going to have the big reveal that Khmer is the Sith Lord.
The jig was up with the last episode, because you could just tell that he's the Sith Lord, man. I mean, like, he strung him up, and he was, like, literally changing his cadence every time she would say something. She's like, well, then I'm going to turn myself in. And he's like, he'll kill you. No, please, May, come back. It was just very telling.
Now I'm committed to just finishing the show to see how it wraps up.
You should, dude. These are funny breakdowns. I like seeing other people's breakdowns, actually. I don't really watch them, but this is entertaining.
Now,
shit, there's that 10 mil sub right there. You see that? Damn, one day.
Like the action department here, the choreographer, they are carrying. They're putting...
I don't know about that, dude. I think they're doing a pretty shit job, to be honest. Nothing compared to the prequel trilogy, and this is supposed to be before the prequels, so, you know, they're supposed to be, like, tip-top. In fact, that's why they call it the High Republic, because the High Republic apparently is supposed to be, like, Jedi are at their, like, best, or some bullshit.
Anyway, that's about it. See ya.
We'll see what freaking happens next week, dude, in a few days. I really don't think it's going to be anything... Pretty sure people are going to be pissed, no matter what. So... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Khmer is Smilo Ren, or it's going to be one of the witch ladies, the moms. And then, you know what actually worries me the most is that there's this stupid-ass rumor going around that Shmi is a witch descendant of the witches, and that's why she gave birth to Anakin, is because she's able to do what they did. I don't know what I'll do if that happens, but I really hope it's not true. And I don't think that they would let her Leslie touch George's, me, Skywalker. There's no way. Or if they, like, even insinuate, be like, there will be another, like, piss off. No way. That's not happening. But hey, that was Moist Critical's breakdown. That's cool. Like, Star Wars fans, there's so many of them, man. They're just everywhere, even on channels, of course, that don't primarily talk about Star Wars. But yeah, I personally think this show is one of the worst shows that actually, you know what? I think it is the worst show that Disney has ever made. So far, at least. Kind of have to wait until it finishes until we can, give our full sentiments, of course, but yeah, not looking good. Not promising, that's for sure. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this little fun video. See you all for the watch party in a couple of days. Love you. May the Force be with you always.